Good evening. Ira Epstein with your SPDR ETF market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Thursday, the 25th of August, 2022. So tomorrow's the big day. Fed Chair Powell is going to give his speech at 9 in the morning. Everything is going to take off on that. If you looked at today's volume in the stock market, just terrible. I mean, light as can be, traders just standing back, some positioning one way or the other. But what are you going to do? You know, the word over the weekend, oh, he didn't go far enough. Oh, he got very hawkish on it. Oh, he said one thing, but he'll never have the guts to follow through with it. I already can see all the headlines that are coming. And how the market wants to react, well, I think you let the market have the algorithm traders trade during his text speech, as he's speaking, and then you react to it after the fact. Let them take that part through. So if you're asking, would I go into it if I'm a trader with anything? The word is a trader, not an investor. There's a huge difference. Why? That doesn't mean we don't take a look at the market. Look at how nice NVIDIA came back. So the market had to realize that, you know, NVIDIA's business is not just about gaming. Artificial intelligence, chips for God knows how many different things. Great business. And the market probably, until today's lows are taken out, said, okay, enough's enough. We got another trade bottom. And it's interesting. If you look up here, a trade top, pretty close to each other. Trade bottom, trade bottom. This one was a little deeper, but you get what I'm saying. So you came in, you came back up to fill a gap that was left in the chart as well. So now does it have legs to it, or was filling the gap what today was all about? When you put on the swing line study, which is this brown line that attaches itself to the daily bars, there's 5 rules that set that up. They're all in my full charting course. You're looking at higher high days, lower and low days, inside days, outside days up, outside days down, and there's a rule as to where you draw each one of those. What I'm looking for is a pattern. And if we take this and we look at the market X today, you had a pattern of lower highs, lower lows. With today's action, you swing around, you take that out. What does that mean you have? Very simply, you've ended a downtrend leg. You're out of that. Doesn't mean you're in an uptrend leg. You're out of the downtrend leg. Where did the market find support? I'm so shocked. First, it was the 50-day moving average, and then very important, the Bollinger Band. Folks, if you don't understand how to work with Bollinger Bands, shame on you. I keep bringing it to you. I keep driving home that I've got a course. I think it's 11 or 13 chapters, walk you from point A to B, assuming you even know what a Bollinger Band is. I pick up from what little I think you know about it and bring you all the way with your master's degree, maybe a doctorate in it. You heard me. That's what I think you end up with. I talk about it at the end of this video, but it's important. You come down where I'm pointing, not here. This is where I think the pros got out. The rest of it was the noise. We then look to see the slow stochastics, and momentum had been, and let me just step back here with you, oversold. Oversold condition, you're hitting a Bollinger Band, you're taking the gravy out of the market. Could it continue? Sure, but the odds don't favor that, and that's just what you can see took place. We then look at AMC. Markets that fall this much and can't even bounce, There's gaps in the chart that at some point, if there were a good piece of news, something could happen, somebody foolishly coming to the rescue of this company. I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm watching how MoviePass is revitalizing itself and trying to come on with the same players from before. They think they can revitalize and put the twists and tweaks to make it work. I hope it does, because I love going to a movie theater, but I can't justify in Chicago, crazy ticket prices, $16, $20 tickets. I know it sounds nuts, but this is what it is. Then by the time I get my popcorn, and who's an American that can't go for popcorn and be it water or a soft drink? Well, by the time I get it for myself and whoever else I'm with, I'm in at $70, $80 before I know what's going on. Parking. I'm lucky I don't have kids at home, otherwise I got the sitter bills. This is the problem. It became too expensive. And the expense drives people away. Now, yes, I'm older and I can get a senior discount at certain times. I take advantage. Would a MoviePass be of interest to me? I don't know. They didn't invite me, so I don't know, and that's how they're doing it to start. But you're down here. If you decide to embed where you're going, you already hit 931. That's what you were at today is a low. I can make room here for a bounce, but I think the world is waiting to sell this market short on good rallies. On Apple, I was telling traders today in my morning subscriber video, I now think the pros are going to buy the market at the 18-day average and see if they can get a pop right into the September 7th announcement. It's dangerous. If they're going to do it on a pullback to the 18-day average, got to have a stop under yesterday's low. Otherwise, you could end up with lower highs, lower lows, and be coming back for these lows. So that's the game plan. It's all what you decide you're going to do with it. Disney, a bounce against the 18-day average of closes. You hear me often say this is the line in the sand. Markets, when they're above it, like to come back to this average and see what next. Now, if Disney starts getting underneath 114.10, then 109 is its next stopping spot. Momentum is down, bias is up, and there's no trend right here. When I look at the XLF, which is the financials, okay, you got down, you fought a battle for 4 days or so, 3 days actually, at the 100-day average. Now you pop back over the 18. So what does that give you? Well, it doesn't give you a trend. You still have a pattern of lower highs, lower lows. The bias is up. Momentum was down. It's starting to go sideways. I think the market's waiting to see tomorrow and the events right after that. Then we get to the industrial sector, which actually today threw up buy signals. So the market was able to close over the 200-day average and the 18. The risk is not to get back under, as I see it, 97.04. And if the market can follow through, 101.36 is really the top number there. Momentum stopped going down, so I think the pros will be nibbling between the 200 and the 18-day average to see if they could put it up. However, will they do that in front of the Fed speech at 9 o'clock? That's going to be the question. When you look at the semiconductors, you can see they negated the whole downtrend. So prior to today, I love to do this with you, this is what the market looks like. Lower highs, lower lows, momentum down, bias down. Market didn't quite get to the lower Bollinger Band. If it takes out now the 183 level, be very careful, because what that does is it sets up higher lows, higher highs, the settlement over that. I say the bulls are now in control. They'll support the market, I think, at 186, and they'll put stops under yesterday's low. Maybe we should get back there if I could get to it. Let's see. Yeah, here it is, at 179.57. So as I'm reading it, that would be about the stop that I'm reading in that. Then we get to the home builders, and this is the resistance area. Now, from the way that I teach charting, because you have a reading in the slow stochastic under 30, the market is not a short sale there. It's just oversold. So I can see the resistance, but it's got to work away from that before I get interested being bearish again. Bearish because the swing line is down and prices are under the 18-day average of closes. On the energies, I remain in the bull camp. And I keep reading what Saudi Arabia is saying, and they keep saying it. You want to play games between the futures in this market? Fine. But they think the market is worth more money, and if they have to support it by doing production cuts, they will. Okay. I'm also reading and wrote today a nice article in the morning, I thought it was nice at least, about natural gas and how the Permian Basin boys are going to do their shift. First of all, they're going to be out of debt in another year. So they've made back all that money they invested in those fields. They're not doing a lot of CapEx. They're returning dividends. And guess what they're about to turn their attention to? Sooner rather than later, by the way. Natural gas. There's this wild market in Europe that's begging for our natural gas. We just have to have the facilities to send it to them. We have it in the ground. Why aren't we turning our attention even more to that? We will. So you're going to see the hydrocarbons, you're going to see the nat gas. You watch. This is a rebirth story for this whole industry. It's here in front of you. Not something I want to be short. I'm looking at the market, how it's latched onto the upper Bollinger Band and all that bullishness. Hard breaks in this market as long as you keep this red line above 79 on a close. I say the trade can't wait to buy the market. On GLD, it's a bear market rally, or is it? Well, it could be a lot of things right here because you're caught in the Bollinger Bands. You see how narrow they are? You've gone from the top band to the bottom band in fairly short order. You're coming back up. Resistance, the 18-day average of closes. In GDX, a close over, and the word is over, 26.24, the 18-day average. Could be a setup that maybe you want to get to the upper band, but more or less what you've been doing is since back here when the band started going sideways, you're just whipping, and this is what I teach you. That's why the Bollinger Band course, the enhanced one, is so important. It told you this. It told you it was going to spin and not really go anywhere. That's what the market has done. Copper's different. I can have been here telling you day after day what China's got to do. China's back's against the wall. I was reading just before I did this video how the developers want China to guarantee the bank loans that they're going to have to make to finish these properties. They don't want to be nudged in by the Chinese government and not have their back protected. So a lot of the developers just aren't playing the game. Now, I don't know how long you can do that in China. I mean, it's not a democracy. The government can come in and say you're a cheater, whatever. You're up in court and you're in jail before you know what's going on. You did nothing wrong, but you didn't toe the line. Towing the line's the interesting part. So I question that. You're coming up to a resistance point at the 30, you're going to be here around 33.04. Pay attention to that. Should be a little bit of resistance, but I'm bullish. I think that there's a big future under the copper market. TLT, you couldn't get me to touch this in front of the Fed chair conversation tomorrow. If he weren't speaking, I'm bearish. You have the embedded reading and you're getting a rally. He is speaking. That changes the game. I don't know what he's going to say, and very frankly, he's the most powerful man in the United States. It's not President Biden. It's the Fed. They decide our economic future, not President Biden. So don't believe that for 1 minute. I'm going to let him have his say, and we'll figure out what to do afterwards. It's a matter of hours. It's 5 o'clock now. So how many hours are we? We're 12 and another 4. We're 16 hours or so away. I think I can wait. UUP, the dollar, it's bullish as can be. But again, all this can change on a dime depending on not only what the Fed chair says, but how the market interprets what he's going to say. And then we get to FXE, and you can see how this market continues in its bear plan. Did we ever embed? So we need 3 days under 20. Let's back off here. Day 1, both numbers under 20. Day 2 and day 3. I got what I want. Now I just need to get through the Fed speak. And once the speak, that's what I'm going to call it, not speech, speak. And once that comes out of the way, I'm going to be moving in the market. So my little fingers are going to be ready to write to all my subscribers and tell them what to do. The Bollinger Bands are all in play. This is a very, very good time to be looking at all that. How do you go about this? Well, it's simple. If you want to learn about Bollinger Bands, I think I got one of the best low-price courses out there, something you've never seen, something I've seen nowhere, and I read and I take a lot of these different things that people will throw them at me. What do you think, Ira? And I review them, okay? I think I got the best one out there. Take a look at this, learn something. Welcome. I'm Ira Epstein, and I'm here to talk about my enhanced Bollinger Band course. Now, many of you have taken my regular charting course, and if not, you might think you know something about Bollinger Bands. As you know, Bollinger Bands are an algorithm designed to keep the market trading within it 95% of the time. And on a chart, it will offer on the top part resistance, on the bottom support, and the idea is the market will travel within them. We know that sometimes it latches onto that band, goes up or goes down. Well, how do you play with that? Can you pyramid the positions off that type of thinking? Well, I've applied all 3 of these into 13 different videos that teach you my concept of it. And from that concept, you're able to work with weekly charts and or daily charts. The 13 videos, each about 7 minutes long. The idea here is not to put you in school forever, but to teach. Now, If you haven't tried my complete futures research, I throw that in as well. Whether you've tried this or not, I think it's worth taking a look at. I think you're going to learn something from there. That research, by the way, covers twice daily market updates for you and access to what I call window envelope numbers, which I think are very important when looking at these Bollinger Bands. The next part is a trial to our charting software so you can make your charts look the same way that mine do. It's that simple. Where do you go with it and how do you get all this? It's simple. You go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. If you go to the word education, everything you need is answered there. You can also call my staff. They'll be happy to help you get set up. I'm Ira Epstein on the road to your education.